Right, okay, folks, welcome to the latest Nice and Nasty podcast. And I've actually done my homework. This episode is episode 36, and I'm delighted at long last to get this guy on. People that talk about the internet just being full of paedophiles and people are out to scam you, don't know what they're talking about. Well, I'm sure it is probably full of that kind of thing. But this guy is the epitome of how you can make friends, true life friends over the internet. I'm delighted to welcome my mate Steve. I can't even remember your bloody second name, Steve.
Steve Tyson. Hello.
Steve Yeah, how can I forget? Yeah, are you related to Mike by any chance?
No, and I don't even like the guy, so no.
I'll tell you a quick anecdote. I've probably mentioned that a few times. I'm now a budding amateur actor. But the guy that's the guy that's actually doing the filming, we're making 3 short films. The guy that's actually doing the filming is called Ryan Cruz, and he is actually related to Tom Cruise.
All right.
He says it's something like his mum and dad's second cousin or something.
Yeah.
But he is, and from a certain angle, you can tell. You think that's Tom Cruise. That is. So there you go. Anyway, Steve, listen, it's wonderful to have you on. I know you're being a wee bit nervous about coming on. I don't know why, because I mean you've been doing YouTube for a wee bit and you come across extremely well. I don't think we've actually ever met. I think
no.
You've I mean, well, obviously you've seen my videos. Did you? Am I right in thinking that you were down at my first Play Blackpool thing?
Yes, I was. I saw you there. I didn't sort of come up to you. I really wanted to come up to you and shake your hand, and say thank you for the videos you've done. I enjoyed them so much, but I was just too scared. I
was completely inundated with people, as you know. Yeah, I mean, you would have to have fought through the crowd to shake my hand. And I'm also talking pish. But anyway, now listen, Steve, I'm delighted to have you on. I mean, you've been, let's be honest, not Facebook, YouTube is whilst I make videos, well, I make them for me because I enjoy it. I don't make them for other people. I do it because I enjoy it. But you need people to enjoy it to make it worthwhile. Because if you were making videos and nobody was watching them and people were saying you're shite, you don't know what you're talking about, like I frequently get, then you would probably give it up. So I've been extremely blessed to have people like yourself that's kind of supported my channel for a long time. And so thank you very much.
I really enjoy it.
Thank you very much for doing it. Well, I must be doing something right. I mean, I've been doing it now for bloody 13 years, something like that. It's depressing though when you watch one of these big YouTube channels and they're on like 500,000 subscribers and they go, "Oh, I've been doing this for 6 years. I've been doing this for fucking 13 years." But no, it's great. I do appreciate your support and obviously everyone else's support. So just before we kind of get into the actual podcast, Steve, you want to just give us a wee flavour about your kind of gaming history? How did it all begin for you?
Oh wow. Well, depends which path you want to go down there, really. We moved to Blackpool in 1973. I didn't want to go. I didn't get a vote because I was a kid, so I just got dragged there. And I sort of discovered the arcades then, 73, and it was all mechanical stuff then, no electronic stuff. And I just, even though it was mechanical, I just loved it. And then when computers, like late 70s computers appeared, I was buying every magazine I could buy just to look at the adverts because I couldn't afford one.
That was like me. Yeah.
It was just I just totally fell in love with the arcades, and we were really in Blackpool in the 70s, or when 78, 79 appeared, the arcades erupted here. I mean, at one point there's must have been 60 arcades. You can just walk from one straight into the other one 60. All the way down. It's just unbelievable.
Did you say 60?
About 60, yeah. You could literally go one to the other, all the way down the Golden Mile. It was incredible. It was absolutely incredible. So obviously, I wanted to play arcade games in my home,
Yeah.
But Yeah, first thing I got was the Atari 2600. Loved that, but as much as I loved that, I was still reading computer magazines, and I wanted a keyboard. I wanted to program. I wanted to do my own thing, and you couldn't do that with a
Yeah,
2600.
yeah.
So I really fell in love with an Atari 800 that was in, I'm not sure it was Dixon's or not, but it was a shop, and it was playing Star Raiders, and I totally been a space fan as well. I totally fell in love with it, and I wanted
Did you?
Atari so much.
Did you have a? Oh, you didn't have a. Did you have an Atari 800 then?
Eventually,
Oh, right,
yeah.
right.
But I wanted
Yeah,
Atari, and they were so expensive here back then in like
they
79,
were.
80.
Yeah.
So I got a ZX81. And I don't mind admitting, when I opened the box, I was grief stricken. Thought, what is this piece of junk? But within a few hours, I fell in love with it, and from there, I'll cut things short. From there, I got a BBC. It was actually my 21st birthday. My mother said you can have a holiday or a computer. I thought, well, I don't want a bloody holiday. I'll have a computer. So I got the BBC, which was great. You know the BBC. You've got one beautiful
Yeah, yeah.
keyboard. Yeah. About a year on, I sold it because my friend had a Spectrum, and honestly, the games on that were just so much better at that time. It didn't have Elite. This was before Elite came out. So I sold it, got a Spectrum, and from then I went to a Commodore 64, then to an Atari 800 XL, and then to a Commodore 64C, and then to an Amiga A500, and then to a 1200, and then to a PC. So I've had all sorts.
So I take it you only ever had one computer at any one time.
I could only afford one at any one time.
Yeah.
If I wanted a different one, I had to sell it.
Yeah, exactly. Unless you were, I don't think I knew anybody that had more than one computer. You had to kind of give up. But it was the same way, like, if you wanted to buy like a Mega Drive, then you had to sell your computer, and that was the way it kind of worked. So you kind of went in that. You kind of went in a real kind of odd kind of pattern. ZX81, BBC, Spectrum, Commodore 64. I mean, obviously you bought. So I mean, the BBC is. I mean, it's a great machine for programming basic.
Yeah.
It was a machine that we used at school. What I was going to say. So when you got it, did you kind of quickly realise, although it's got a lovely keyboard and all this kind of stuff, you were going into, like, I don't know what it'd be, like W.H. Smith or Boots, whatever, and you were seeing all these games like Bugaboo the Flea and Back to School Days and that. You thought, I can't play any of these games on my BBC. Was that kind of how it went?
Yeah, because you went into Smiths or Boots, as it was sometimes. You see rows and rows of Spectrum games, and if you were lucky, you get a few BBC games tucked at the bottom. So it was quite depressing to be a BBC owner in like 81, 82.
Yeah. I mean, and that's how it was. I mean, there were so many back in the early 80s. There were so many. There was computers coming out every other week. There must have been maybe 30, 40 computers that were out, and you had to kind of decide what one you were going to go for. And if you were there in the early days, you'd think, well, that's a better computer than that one, whatever. But as we know, it's not really down to the hardware; it's down to the number of games. And obviously the Spectrum exploded, and obviously the C64 kind of came along.
When I saw my BBC, my mother was horrified. She was horrified. And
I can kind of understand why.
Yeah. I never regretted it. Not for a second. Never regretted it. No.
Not even when Elite came along.
No, because then I went back to the Beeb. So I had two Beebs. So I've been all over the place. I think the only thing I've not had is like an Auric and an Amstrad. I've had everything else, I think.
And you've never had, just to appease Mr. Flanagan, you've never had a C16 either, no?
No, I've never even seen one in the flesh. So no.
So quite a varied. So did you ever have an Atari ST at all?
No, never. I went from the Commodore 64C straight to the A500 Amiga. No.
Yeah, I mean the thing, and I know there's certain like fanboys of Amiga. One of my friends, Jamie, he's a massive Atari fan. I've got very, very, very little nostalgia for Atari ST because I look upon the Atari ST as like a budget Amiga. You know, it had better graphics than the Commodore 64, but the sound was nowhere near as good as the SID chip. And so as soon as I could get an Amiga, that was
I knew people who had Amigas. I didn't know anybody who had an Atari ST, so that's probably why I went with Amiga.
Yeah, it's a bit like. In fact, it's interesting. When I was down, I'm actually down in fact, this is probably the first video I have ever actually made. Not at home. I'm actually down in a hotel in Swindon at the moment. And when I was waiting to get my food, there was two girls behind me, and they goes, "Oh, can I get you any drinks?" They went, "Oh, can I have a Coca-Cola?" And they went, "Oh, we don't have that. Is diet is in fact no, they wanted a diet Coca-Cola. We "Oh, we don't have that, but is Diet Pepsi okay?" And I remember hearing a comedian talking about if you were like the CEO of Pepsi, you would be fucking raging because anytime people mention it, you always apologise. "Oh, we don't have Coca-Cola. Is Pepsi all right?" It's like the second best. And I think if you went to a computer shop and said, can I get an Amiga 1200, please? Sorry, don't have that. Is an Atari ST okay? Right, I'll love that. It's like that's what you get if you can't get the full thing. But no, don't get me wrong. The Atari ST, I've got a lot of love for it. It's a, you know, if I don't know. I mean, it's part of the whole Atari. It's part of the whole computer industry.
Yeah.
You know, if it wasn't for these sort of failed machines, we wouldn't be where we are. So, was it all games? Was it all about games for you then?
It was a mixed bag. It started off being games. Then I wanted to get into programming, but I'm not very good at that. And then when the Amiga came along,
I beg to differ, but we'll talk about that in a minute.
And then when the Amiga came along, I got into graphics. I got into 3D modeling and ray tracing, things like Imagine, Cinema 4D, Lightwave. I got into that.
Oh,
The amount of times I left the damn thing on all night rendering pictures was crazy.
Rendering a picture?
Yeah, just do one frame. You could take all night to do one frame. You're doing it on the highest setting, you know. It was crazy because
so would that be like
not that good?
So that would be like putting like you'd have like the shadow and all that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I'm assuming now you could like do that in real time, yeah.
You've probably in a couple of seconds.
Aye. That's insane, isn't it? It really is.
Yeah.
So you mentioned you couldn't go into programming. What computer was that on that you kind of started?
Well, I started on me ZX81 back in 81 using Sinclair Basic. Tinkered with that. Never did anything of any consequence. A little bit on the Spectrum, same. When I got my Babe, tried doing that, which was it was lovely. I mean, that keyboard's beautiful for programming, and the language BBC Basic is very good. I'm going to get some hatred here because I tried on my Commodore 64, but I hated Commodore 64 Basic. It was just bloody awful. I did some of my Atari 800 XL later on. That was pretty good too. And then even on my Amiga, it actually came with Microsoft Basic. I even tinkered with that a bit. Yeah, and then the Amos and Blitz Basic. Yeah, so I've messed about with all sorts.
That was pretty good. Blitz Basic, there's a few good games in that. There was what was it? There was a game. It was like a zombie game. It was like Operation Wolf, but with zombies.
That's one of them. That's one of the example files, I think, when you buy it.
Yeah, I remember seeing. In fact, I'm sure I had the game actually. It was pretty good. So just to go back again, so you had the ZX81, BBC, Spectrum, Commodore 64. Then you went to an Atari XL.
Yeah, Atari 800 XL. Yeah, don't ask me why. I can't remember, but I did, and I really enjoyed my Atari. The only downside about it was the bloody tape deck. It was the official Atari tape deck. I think it was 1010, the 1010, and it's got a major flaw. Yeah. The buttons had a major flaw. They used to snap for fun. They used to snap for fun when you pressed them down. I couldn't afford a disk drive for it because it cost more than the computer. But yeah, it was a really nice computer. It was a really lovely computer.
So when did you? So you went from? I mean, you bought a Spectrum because you wanted to play all the games. Then you bought a Commodore 64 because presumably you thought, well, it's got great sound, etc. Then you sold that and got an Atari. You got an Atari. That's like going back. That's like I don't know. It's like get no. In fact, I was going to say it's like a step backwards. It's not a step backwards because I love the Atari. I think the Atari is a fantastic machine. But at what point? I mean, because like the Atari XL had kind of died a death pretty early on into the 80s. I mean, sort of 83, 84, is it not pretty much?
Well, to be honest, I think because when I originally saw the original Atari 800, the tank one, when I saw that in the shop window playing Star Raiders, I desperately wanted to play that game. And when the Atari 800 XL came out, it was a lot cheaper.
Yeah.
And I thought, a Star Raiders is not on any other computer. I'm going to get it. So I think it's basically I got the Atari 800 XL just to play Star Raiders. That was it.
But you sold your Commodore 64 to get it?
Yeah. Because I couldn't afford both. And if I had to save up just to get the Atari, it would have taken a long time. And I'm impatient.
Yeah, presumably you managed to buy the Atari pretty much just for the money you got for the 64.
Uh-huh.
That's quite a brave move, quite a bold move, because the hard part for me when you were selling any system is you knew that you were having to give up the ability to play all these games.
Yeah.
And start. So you effectively had quite a decent collection of C64 games, and then you immediately got rid of all them, and you ended up with one machine with one game.
Yeah, beyond being honest, I think 80% of my games are pirate copies.
Yeah.
I did return to the C64 later on. I got a C64C. So yeah, I did come back to it.
Yeah. So when did you get the? Sorry for keep on thing with this. I'm like a lawyer, a prosecutor. I've been watching way too many kind of cop things. So when did you sell the C64? What year?
I'm not sure. I think it was about 86, but I'm not sure. I couldn't tell. It's been a long time. It was a long time ago.
Was that not? I mean, I'm just. It's like I'm sure you're going to go. I'm just kidding you here, by the way. It's like you've done it in reverse. People would have the Atari XL and then sell it and get a C64. But you sold the C64 when it was pumping out stuff like Whizball, Mission Impossible Mission, Beachhead 2. You sold all that. You got rid of all that to get an Atari XL.
Yeah, well,
just
to
play that one
the heart
game.
wants what the heart wants. You know, I wanted to play Star Raiders.
Was it worth it, do you think?
Yeah, because I went back to the C64 and I enjoyed that for many years later. So, yes, I think it was worth it because I still love Star Raiders today. So, yeah.
Yeah. And what, I mean, at that point, there couldn't have been that many games available for Atari, was there?
Not a great deal. Well, I mainly played pirate games, being honest. And pirate C64 games were dead easy to get. Pirate Atari games, far harder. So yeah, in that respect,
Because nobody had one. That was the problem you had.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how long did you have your XL for before you?
I think it was a couple of years.
So what were you? I'm genuinely sorry for harboring the point, but I'm genuinely curious. So I mean, apart from Star Raiders, the only computer you had was an Atari. I mean, was there many games coming out at that point?
I can't remember. It's been so long ago. I know I bought Eastern Front and played that. That was a war game. That was good. Pinhead. That was good. I couldn't name a lot of games, which maybe that's not a good indication.
Yeah, I mean, because as far as I'm concerned, the kind of the glory years of the Atari would have been probably like 83, whatever it was, something like that. Because I mean, if you look at all the early Commodore 64 games that came from, in fact, this is even before US Gold was a thing. You had like your adverts for Synapse and Areola Soft or whatever it was. Epix, they used to do their own games, and Access Software. All these games that were coming out in the C64, they had all been released on the Atari 800. And one of the best games ever, Fort Apocalypse. If you're going to play it, you've got to play it on the on the Atari because it's much better, because obviously
That's too hard for me.
well, I can complete it, so it can't be that hard.
You're good. What's up with you? You're great. I've seen you play it. You can't complain. I've seen you play it.
Yeah,
You're good at that game.
I'm pretty handy at that game, I must admit. But I mean, yeah, as I said, I would say that the real kind of the best time, all the real classic games came out earlier on. So I'm interested to kind of hear that, because the sad thing about the Atari, like the Atari 800, it's the same with the Amstrad. Some of the games, when they're done properly, they were like, Drop Zone, Fort Apocalypse, any of the what do you call it? LucasArts films, Rescue and Fractalis.
Rescue and Fractalis was amazingly.
That's just something else. That's something else. But then if you look at some of the later games, like some of the budget games that came out for the Atari, they were absolute dog shit. I don't know whether because there was hardly anybody actually had them, they maybe thought, well, we're not going to spend too much money. Let's concentrate our efforts and get a decent C64 version.
Possibly.
One. I don't know, but it's good to see that you've actually kind of owned pretty much everything, haven't you?
Most, not everything, but a lot, yeah. Most of the popular ones, yeah.
Yeah. And then you obviously went to the. How long did you have your Amiga? When did you get your Amiga?
I couldn't tell you what year. I know my friend had an A500. He fetched it down to show me, and I thought, this is bloody fantastic. I love this. And I think I got one the following Christmas.
So was that would be the one that's got the big fuck off modulator that sticks at the back?
Yeah, it did. Yeah.
Who designed that? I mean, seriously.
I have no idea, but it was ridiculous, weren't it?
Did they not have made it go up the way instead of out the way? You needed like a 7-foot square desk to actually put it flat.
Yeah, it stuck out right at the back. It was ridiculous. Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah,
it was like another 50% of the width of this stupid bloody plastic thing. Unless, of course, you were rich and had like a monitor, then you could. I think you could plug it. You didn't need that thing, obviously.
Oh no,
but
not
for the poor people like us, you needed the modulator. Oh, excuse me. So you obviously started programming. And so to kind of fast forward to now, you've started dabbling again with programming. What is it you've done a couple of games which are really, really good. They're absolutely balls hard. How did you? What kind of sort of like motivated you to start programming again?
Well, I thought of people talk about a bucket list, and I thought, wow, what's your bucket list, Dave? What's your bucket list? And I'm so boring. I came on with just two things. I wanted to go to America, even if it was only for like 2 days. Obviously, that'll never happen because I haven't got the money. And I wanted to write a game that actually complete a game that somebody will play, because I've messed about doing loads of different games and never finished any. I wanted to actually finish one so somebody could play it. So at least I've done that now. So I'm happy about that.
Remind me again, what's it called? What's it called? Boney? What's it called again?
The first one is Boney and Bat Hell, and the second one is Boney 2. Return to Battle.
Boney 2, yeah. I'm sure some adult productions might be interested in buying that title.
God, no.
yeah. Boney 1 and Boney 2. So just tell the listeners a little sort of flavour. What is the game about?
Well, the first one is about a skeleton called Boney. That's a very original, isn't it? And basically, it's 20 levels. It was done with MPAGD. And what you got to do is you got to collect a skull every level, skull every screen. And when you get to the end, he's basically back to life. That was it. And there's like an orb that appears on every level. It appears after like 4 seconds, 5 seconds, and it disappears after 20 seconds. If you collect that, it gives you an extra life. But I did the first one. I was very happy with it. Wasn't even planning on doing the second one. I thought, people are downloading that and playing it, so I'm very happy. And then Charlie Farr comes along, completed it in one go, and said, "Hey, that's too easy." So I thought, right, so I need my revenge here. So that's how I did the second one. Just made it a lot harder, just so I couldn't complete it in one go.
Just to let people understand, Charlie Farr is a mutual friend. Now, if anyone has ever been to Arcade Club in Bury, not in Bury, where is it? Oh, it is in Bury. Yeah. There's probably, I don't know, 500 cabinets. I would pretty much guarantee that on more than half of them where there is a high score. You'll see the digits. I think it's CHR. That's Charlie Farr. Dave is an absolute machine. Dave also holds the world's high score record for Galaxian. So that tells you a wee bit about his skill. So just because he completed it in one go doesn't mean anything. But I do remember when you sent me a copy of it, I think I might have said it's maybe slightly too easy because I think I maybe got to like level 4 or 5 in my first go, something like that. So the second one, is the second one, because I played it in a recent live stream. Is the second one a brand new game, or is it the same game but just been tweaked?
It's more. It's like, I would say it's about 80% the same. Some levels are the same. Some have been tweaked, and the extra life orb that you pick up to get an extra life only appears now on every other level rather than every level. So and that
really makes sense. Yeah, I think you sometimes have an extra life, and then it can be just it's like you're always going to get, as long as you can get enough, you'll get an extra life type thing. So I played it a couple of weeks ago in a live stream, and it's excuse me, I just bit my bloody nail. What was going to say? If you imagine like Manic Miner, it's that level of difficulty. I was going to say it's maybe slightly more difficult than Manic Miner, but I've been playing Manic Miner for the best part of like 20 years. So the first 7 or 8 levels, I think that's quite easy. But Manic Miner, if you put that in front of somebody who's never played a game like that before, they would struggle. And Boney 2 is there. It's pure old school. So if you like a challenge, go and check it out. I will put a link to is Boney 1, is that still there then, Steve?
Yeah, free to download.
Or else you can you make a donation as well?
I've turned donations off. I thought I don't want anybody to give me money for making games, so I turned that off. Just go and download it, it's free.
Oh, that's fair enough. That's fair enough. I mean, I think you should turn it back on again because it's nice. You're giving something away for free, and if somebody wants to give you a couple of quid, the sad thing is, one of our mutual friends, Nick Sherman, who's his company's Arlosoft, he's done some of the best.
Yeah.
I mean, he's done about 5 or 6. I would say almost 100% arcade perfect games in the Commodore 64. He was telling me that one of his games that he'd put up had been downloaded something like, I don't know, I'm maybe exaggerating, maybe it's been downloaded like 2,000 times, and I think it was like 15 people had bought it. And don't get me wrong, I'm guilty of that as well. I'm guilty if somebody puts a game up, this new game in the C64. You go to it, is it Itch or something it's called?
Yeah.
You go to it, and it'd be like £2, or you've got the option, just take me to downloads. I'll generally go just to take me to downloads as well. Probably because, I know I might play it once and that's it. And you've got to log in and all that bollocks, but that's no excuse. It's like YouTube as well. If somebody wants to get a couple of quid for what you do, then great. But I will put a link to where you can get these games. So anyway, the game side of things set aside, you have got a YouTube channel. This is your second one. I'll let you explain in a second what happened. What inspired you to get involved with YouTube and actually start doing it? Because I get the feeling, Steve, you do lack confidence in yourself, and it does not come across. I can honestly say that. What gave you the incentive to start up a channel?
It's not something after I started watching you and other people. I thought that looks such fun. I'd love to do that. And then I thought, no, I can't do that. And then Dell, one of our mutual friends, started his YouTube channel, and that gave me the sort of push, gave me the sort of confidence. I thought, give it a go. So I thought that's when I made it. So I made a Steve's Gaming, and it was great. I really enjoy it. I really do. You get some assholes dropping silly comments at times, but most people are really great and supportive. So I enjoy it. It's a lot of fun. It really is.
So you started that. When did you start making YouTube? Maybe
I think it was
2
about
years
3
ago?
years ago.
As much as that? Yeah,
2
yeah.
or 3 years ago.
And
Yeah.
then your channel
Oh.
disappeared.
It's my own fault. I'm an idiot. I was gonna make a second channel just for Spectrum stuff. So then I logged in and checking my stuff, and it's like showing me several email addresses that I've just had years ago and I don't use anymore. So I clicked on the delete because I don't want that email address there anymore. And apparently somehow that email address was connected to my channel, and it deleted my channel. The entire lot. I had close to 1,000 videos there. The lot gone.
Did it actually give you? Did it come up warning you may lose your content or
No
anything?
one at all. No one. I wish it did. I wish it did.
Unbelievable.
I spent over a week trying to contact YouTube support, and they couldn't give a shit. They couldn't give a shit.
Yeah,
So that's forever.
unless you're like you're making them a lot of money.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I had a similar thing with with Facebook. I got an email to say that now what was it again? I got an email to say that my account had been suspended due to like inappropriate pictures or some inappropriate content. I'm like, what the
What the
fuck?
hell?
And then when I tried to log in, I couldn't log in. And then I realised I've obviously been hacked. And then when I got in touch with YouTube, I got in touch with Facebook, nothing. There's the only thing you could do is it said that my channel was going to be not my channel, my Facebook page, my account, which I'd had for like 16 years. There was a lot of pictures on it with my late mum and dad and all that, and probably I was going to lose all that. And it said that. Yeah, I could. Yeah, that's it. I could launch it. I could appeal it, and all you've got is a button that says appeal. When you click on it, it doesn't give you any. It doesn't give you an option to like type in and say this has quite clearly been. If you look at my Facebook page, you'll see that I'm not some kind of paedophile or some.
Yeah,
I'm not some arsehole. I'm a decent person. I've been on it a long time. That was it. You don't have any option to put in.
that's
It says
ridiculous.
appeal. And then a couple of days later, I went back into it. It says, we acknowledge your appeal. However, the account will not be opened again. And that was it. Boom. So, yeah, these things are just, yeah, I would, and that, because of what happened to you, I've now downloaded my entire YouTube channel. I've got a bit of software that it automatically, when I run the software, it automatically checks to see if there's any new videos. I don't know really why I'm downloading the entire thing. I would be. I mean, somebody mentioned to me or asked me a while back, how would you feel if your entire channel disappeared overnight? I would be upset because there's been a lot of stuff that I've put into it. Would I start a new channel? I honestly don't know.
Yes, you would, because we'd bloody make you.
Sometimes I think to myself, it would be maybe, it's like, if you've ever been to like the rubbish dump, whatever, and you're throwing out things, it's quite therapeutic, kind of getting rid of stuff. And I'm not saying I'm not putting YouTube in that category, but sometimes you think, I think now I don't. You've been watching my channel for a long, long time. You'll have seen a change in what I do on YouTube. Yeah, I am primarily what do you call it, live streams, which I enjoy live streams, but I do miss the making videos. I've got about 4 or 5 videos which I've filmed, and what I tend to do is I'll record the content, and then I'll do an overlay. I'll talk over it, and I just don't have the time, and I don't have the time at all. And I do really miss making videos. I did a gadgets for today where I unearthed Brian from Gadgets Today found a prototype.
That's funny.
Fucking cringeworthy, but yeah, I do miss the making videos. But I've now got other interests in my life, which is great. But at one point I was really would get upset if I couldn't get a video out every second day, and I would make a Friday waffle even if I had nothing to talk about. And then I've got to stage now. I think, no, fuck that. You know what I mean? I do it completely for free. I mean, I don't get anything from anybody. And that's not a moan. That's just state the matter of fact. I don't have Patreon in that at all. So YouTube is a hobby, which I do as and when I can be arsed. I do enjoy. I mean, I get a good turnout on a Sunday. I get a really good turnout, and it's good fun. I look upon it as it's like getting together with mates.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, and just we're having fun, and I mean, what kind of warms my heart is like we've got the Main Meister Discord, and that in itself is a community of people. Yeah, I mean, I've not that I would ever do it. I think I'd say, what would happen if I decided, fuck it, I'm going to delete Discord? I wouldn't do that because I'm not a cunt, and that would be a completely cuntish thing to do. But there's such a good community of people that have all kind of, I suppose, they've initially got to know each other through the Main Meister channel, and that in itself has just opened up relationships. It's opened up friendships, and I think it's fair to say that even if for some reason I decided I was going to knock YouTube in the head, and I'm not thinking of doing that, if I did, I think we would all still be friends. We would all still be communicating through
definitely,
Discord and all that kind of stuff. And well, we were having a conversation before we started recording about something, and you know, that mates for life. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, so no, that's great. So yeah, obviously your channel disappeared, and at that point, did you? I think you had what when that happened. What did you think about? Did you think
I was devastated? I was absolutely devastated. Really was. I wanted it back so much, and I tried. So I tried looking around, asking everybody I knew, and trying to get the support. And YouTube just didn't want to know. So I thought, well, I've got two choices here. I can say bollocks to it, don't bother anymore, or I can come back. So that's what I did. I made another channel instead of Steve's Gaming. It's now Steve's Gaming Part 2, which is a crap name, but I'm not very good at thinking up names. I did make another channel too.
Jesus Christ.
I did make another channel too called Steve Spectrum Zone. I intended on doing that just for Spectrum stuff, but that didn't work out. So I'm just using the one channel now. Although I do stream occasionally on Twitch. I'm trying to build up my confidence to stream on Twitch because I think that's a lot of fun. But yeah, just the one channel for now.
I would probably say if you're going to stream, then do it on Twitch. I mean, I've obviously started streaming on Twitch. I mean, excuse me, it's almost like completely pointless because excuse me, I've got the burps. It's almost pointless. I mean, when I stream on a Sunday, I might get 30, maybe sometimes I get over 40 people watching. On Twitch, you get like 2. And I think it's probably you and Colin Jones.
Yeah.
It's the same people. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I don't really care. The way I see it is it's not giving me any more work.
You will get more.
Instead of just streaming to YouTube, where 99% of the activity is actually taking place, it's also going to this thing called Twitch. I mean, apparently they don't like the fact that you're sharing content with another company. They want access. But you know what? If Twitch shut my channel down tomorrow, I wouldn't give 2 shits. It doesn't affect me in any shape or form. But no, listen. What I'll do is I'm going to put the link down to Steve's YouTube channel and your Twitch channel.
Thank you.
Go and have a look. If it's shit, then absolutely don't subscribe. Don't even watch the videos.
Exactly.
What you see, support them. Go and do it. Yeah, absolutely. It's important that you do that. So anyway, Steve, listen. Let's crack on with the nice and nasty. You know what the premise is.
Yeah.
I've taken the easy option and said I've kind of Desert Island Games. What I've told Steve is he's going to be getting deported to a isolated desert island in the middle of nowhere on his own, but he's got electricity and he's allowed to take any systems at all to play 3 computer games. It might be a Mega Drive, a Spectrum, and an arcade machine. It might be a PC. It might be whatever. It can be any video game on any system, including arcades. These are the only 3 games you'll ever get to play. Obviously, if you're picking an online game, there are other people out there on their own desert islands, so you will be able to play. If you want to play Doom multiplayer, there's going to be people out there. I don't know why I'm saying all that, because you've already made your choices a lot, but I do believe you were kind of a bit humming and hawing going on.
Oh, yeah, it's the second one. It's the second one. I between 2 games, and I've swapped back and forward between these 2 games like 7 or 8 times. It's been a nightmare. In fact, I originally started with a spreadsheet of 120 games that I wanted. Get it down to 3. It was crazy hard. But here we are. So you want a first one, yeah?
So I'm going to ask you to pick game number 1 that you would take. Tell us what to do. I quite like it when a lot of people tell me about the game and then they tell me what the name of it is, rather than you can do whatever way you want. So game number 1, what would you take?
Okay, the game number 1 is Call of Duty, and that's a joke. You got to be bloody joking.
I think we're losing you there, Steve. I had bad. Yeah. The Wi-Fi was dropping a bit.
Okay, our first one is an arcade game. It came out in 1982 by Universal. You probably know what it is already. And the game
is it got 2 words in it?
It does, yes.
Yeah, and the second one begins with D.
That's true. It's Mr. Do.
Yeah. I'll let you tell the listeners.
I just love this game. When Dig Dug came out, I loved that. And this came out, it was like enhanced version of Dig Dug. I just totally fell in love with it. It's just wonderful. You play this like this little clown, and you got it's like a level, and there's apples and cherries, and if you can either complete a level by collecting all the cherries or by killing all the enemies, and you can like you dig tunnels like Dig Dug. You also like push apples, so you can like dig under an apple, then move. Apple will drop down next to you, and you can wait for the enemies and shove the apple, drop onto them, and kill them. And it's brilliant. You even got letters at the top of the screen like extra, and that one of the letters can sometimes come out, run around the screen, and you can chase it. And your only weapon is the ball. You got like a ball, you can throw it, and it'll kill enemies. But it takes a while to come back, and sometimes it just doesn't come back when you need it the most. But I mean, there's loads of 80s arcade games I love, but that one, I've never got tired of it. I've never got tired of it. Even today, on my full-size arcade cab, it's my most played game. I absolutely adore that game. It never gets old for me. It really doesn't. It's brilliant. And the excitement when you get a diamond, diamonds are very rare, but the excitement when a diamond drops is as powerful now as it was the first day I played in like 83 or 82 or whatever. It's just wonderful.
Yeah.
I love it. There you go.
Yeah, it's got I'm trying to remember the. Yeah, I'm not going to hum the tune, but yeah, it's got very very distinct sound.
Yeah.
It's as you say, it's kind of like it's almost like a cartoon version of Dig Dug.
Yeah.
It's faster. It's kind of got more going on. I could always imagine if that it could have been released as Dig Dug 2. I don't know whether it was a Dig Dug 2, but it's kind of similar kind of game mechanics. So the little the ball thing that you've got. So I could never quite understand that. So does that come back after a certain length of time, or is it a bit random?
Does, yeah. It comes back after a certain length of time, but it's actually just at the time it does change. It's not exact time every time. It does. Sometimes it can come back straight away. Sometimes it can take like 5 or 6 seconds. So you got to be very careful.
Yeah, it's a bit like I was going to say. It's a bit like the what do you call it? The laser beam thing, whatever you want to call it, in Phoenix, that you can destroy. You can destroy the little cloaking device thing. You can destroy enemies, but it does take a wee while to recharge, and you never quite know when it's going to reappear. But am I right in thinking again, Dig Dug, Mr. Do? It's each screen is the number. Is that right?
Yeah, apart from the first one. The first one's a D. I have no idea why. And then the art's in shape of numbers like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But why the first one's a D, I don't know. I really don't. Must be a reason behind it, but I don't know.
Yeah. There must be. So was that a game that you played back in the arcades?
I did. I totally fell in love with it. I totally fell in love with it. And just brilliant. It just doesn't get old with me. I just love it to bits. And there were 3 sequels to it. 3 sequels. And in my opinion, none of them are as close. None of them are as good as Mr. Do. That's actually the best. I just love it. There you go.
Was that, you've seen the 3 sequels? I'm trying to think. There was Mr. Do's Castle. Is that classed as a sequel?
That is, yeah.
Then there was a Mr. Do came out for the Neo Geo, wasn't there?
I don't know about that. There was Mr. Do's Wild Ride.
Oh, of course. That's kind of like was it Donkey? No, what's it called? What the hell is it called in the Commodore 64 and the Spectrum?
I can't remember, but I know what the game is. Yeah, I've
yeah. You're on a. Right, so that's that as well. Yeah, I'm sure there's a. If you Google it on the Neo Geo, there's a Mr. Do, and it's. Do you remember the game on the Commodore 64? I played it once before. It was by one of my favourite software companies, Task Set Software, and it's called. Fucking hell! What's it called? What the hell is it called? Cyber something. Oh, fuck! I've completely forgot. Anyway, I can't remember the name of the game. But you're almost like playing. If you imagine taking the screen, imagine taking the Mr. Do, which is like you're playing up and down. You imagine if it fell flat, so it's almost like a 3D type thing. It's kind of like Congo Bongo. It's like taking the perspective, and it's like it's kind of flat. It's almost like pseudo 3D. I'm sure that's Mr. Do, and that's on the that's in the Neo Geo. Have a look at it because that's I don't know how that plays, but have a look at it. But I totally get it. It's not a game that there was a really good conversion in the C64. Again, it's the problem you've got is when you had too many games, you just never really got into them. But that's the fact that that's one of your favourite arcade games, considering you had access to everything. I mean, Blackpool was the place to be in the UK. I mean, England had all your, you had all your different like coastal towns, your Margates and
I had access to a lot of arcade games before they came out. So as well.
I was opposite because I didn't really have any arcades near to me. Most of the games that I played them on the C64, and then it was only when MAME came along I was able to get to play them properly. So no, I mean I can complete. How far can you get in the game? What can you level?
I can loop it once. The average score is about 60 to 80,000, which isn't fantastic. I didn't say I was good at it. I just said I loved it.
How many levels, many screens is there before you loop it?
8, I believe, because you got like the first one, which is like I said for a D. Then you got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So another 7.
Right. I was going to credit you with being a great player. I thought, fucking hell, you can complete 40 levels. I didn't realise that. So there is only about 8 or 9 levels, and then it goes back, and presumably it gets kind of more difficult.
It definitely does, yeah.
Yeah. No, listen, great. So I mean that's your kind of go-to game. You just it's fun to play. It's difficult. It's an arcade game. So yeah, no, listen, great choice. Right, game number 2.
Game number 2, right. This one is a 1983 Spectrum game. I'm betting that you've not played it. It was by Crystal Computing, and it was called The Dungeon Master. Have you played it?
I've never even heard of it.
Well, it's a text-only Dungeons and Dragons game. It's very atmospheric, really good. And let me think. I'm trying to picture it in my head now. So it's text. So it's text only. And the sample dungeon that comes with it, I believe, is 140 levels. And you can do things like you've got locked doors, and you can either find keys for them, or you can actually try and break them down and get in there. And those are different potions, loads of different monsters. When you get in the battle with a monster, The really cool thing is it gives you it's like a running commentary of the battle, which it's just so funny. It really is, It's like Kobold attacks with its tiny sword and missed, and you can say Steve attacks with his fist and hit and struck hard, sort of thing. So you can get a running commentary of the battle. It's really, really good. And if you got a Curry micro speech, it'll actually read it out to you, and that is even funnier. That is just absolutely hilarious. But the great thing about that for me was, if you turn the tape over and load the other side, it's got a dungeon creator.
Oh,
You can actually
okay.
make your own levels. And you can, when you're playing the game, you can actually save your game, save your character, and load it into a dungeon that you've made. So you can just play it over and over again, making dungeons. It's absolutely brilliant. It's really good.
So was it a text adventure, or was it more kind of? It was almost like a real time RPG, but it was obviously text.
It's not a text adventure. It's real time, and when you start a battle, you don't have to press a key. It's not like the Black Crystal where you got to hit a key really quick. It's you're attacking something, then the attack plays out automatically, and depending on your stats and its stats, you win or lose, sort of thing.
Yeah.
But you can explore the dungeon. It's brilliant.
It's a bit like sort of player manager, like the football type game, but for Dungeons and Dragons. Okay.
It's really good because you can
did you ever
make your own
actually
levels.
complete it, or did you ever complete it?
No, I didn't. But I spent a lot of happy hours making things, putting wooden doors in, and locked doors, open doors, stone doors, and different monsters, different potions. So you can have a lot of fun. If you've got an imagination and you don't need fancy graphics, you can have a lot of fun with that. Definitely, yeah.
Yeah. What was it called again? The what?
The Dungeon Master.
No, I'm thinking I've got this really, really bizarre memory when it comes to fucking old computer games. I mean, I can go to the cinema and see a film on the Saturday, and then people at work will be talking about it on the Monday, and I'll go, let's see that bit where he came in and he got to the taxi, and I'm thinking, I've got no recollection of that happening because I forget things. But I've got some really bizarre, I wouldn't call it a skill or anything like that, but I can picture, like, I can visualize old, like, computer and video game adverts and all this kind of stuff, and I've got this one which I was thinking it might be that, but I think it's called the Black Crystal or something. Can't
Black
remember.
Crystal's different. That was a good game as well. That was a good game, but the fighting in that was a nightmare because you had to be ultra fast on the buttons, whereas the combat plays itself.
So I didn't imagine the Black Crystal. Is that the one?
It's by Martech, I think. It's a really good game. I had it.
There's a. I've got this image in my head. Do you remember Tiswas?
Yeah.
The Phantom Flan Flinger.
Yeah.
There's an advert that's got, it looks a bit like the Phantom Flan Flinger. It's just like an eye, and I don't know whether that's a Black Crystal. I don't know. I'm completely going off topic here, but I can't honestly say I've ever. So did that game, like, did it score well in, like, Crash, or was that? Did that come out?
I don't know. I honestly don't know. Yeah.
And when did it come out? Do you know?
I didn't.
When did that game come out?
In 1983.
83. So it was probably pre. Well, that would be pre Crash, actually.
Yeah.
It's what's interesting is how sometimes a game would come along and it would just have it didn't have to be machine coded, it didn't have to have graphics, whatever. It could be a really simplistic game, but it just had a certain game mechanic that just really worked. And as you say with that one,
yeah,
it's a wee bit like, well, it's nothing like it, but a game that I know you quite like is Racing Destruction Set.
Yeah,
it's like you're racing on rails. It's kind of like a Skeletrix type game, and that was the same. You could create your own tracks and all that kind of stuff, and being able to create something and then play it back was really, really cool. It was really, really good. So why would you take that game? Is it because you can
because I can make my own dungeons and add the monsters I want, add the stuff I want, and just play it. Never get bored playing that.
Yeah. So does that scratch the nostalgia?
Definitely. Yes, definitely.
Yeah. You need a bit of that when you're on a desert island on your own. So
certainly.
Anyway, lovely. Game number 3.
Game number 3, right? This one's obvious, but it's a game. One of the games I fell in love with again. This one's another Spectrum game. This was 1984 by Ultimate Play the Game. 2 words. Can you guess?
Is it the second word lower?
No, it's not. This is Saber Wolf.
Ooh, right. Okay, interesting.
I actually fell in love with that. Totally fell in love with it. I was gutted because it was 10 quid. Because up to then, the games were like 7 quid. And it was the first Ultimate one that was 10
Was that
quid.
actually a tenner? Was it really? Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. And I thought, I'm not sure about this. But eventually I got it. And it's just, the colours are so vibrant. It's just a beautiful game. It really is. I mean, the maze never changes. But like the extra lights are in different places. The amulet pieces are in different places. So it's it's like different every time you play, even though it's the same maze. I just love it. It's just a game that just brings, it just does something into my head. I just love it. It's my happy space playing Saber Wolf.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
did you complete it, I take it?
Several times, yes.
Yeah.
Not for a long time. Actually, no. I think it was last year. But yeah, I completed it twice. One of the rare games I've completed. Don't complete many games. Very few.
No, was that no pun intended? One of the rare games. Was that a pun?
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe that's why they called it rare eventually. I mean there was there was something not well, being a C64 guy, I didn't get that advantage, but there was something really special about Ultimate Play the Game when they I mean they're I think what made it so special is they were so secretive. You never really knew very much about it. You would get an advert with the artwork of the box, and you didn't have any idea what it was going to be about, and it was just like, I suppose, a bit like a Tarantino film coming out. You're like, oh, you know, people instantly went out and bought it. You didn't even have to know what it was. Ultimate Play the Game, boom. All right, I think they did. They did start to kind of get a bit samey after Night Lore. They brought out, what did they bring out? Was it Nightmare?
Underworld, yeah.
Underworld. Yeah, there was about 3 or 4 of these pseudo 3D games, and I think the novelty started to wear off with a lot of people because it was just it was the same engine with the little Saberman, whatever it was. I mean, I must admit, I'm not a fan of Saberwolf. Again, I mean, I think it did come out in the C64, but it'll forever be, it's like Manic Miner. If you're going to play Manic Miner, it's always going to be the Spectrum one. I would never choose to play any other version. It's going to be the Spectrum one. It was original. And I think it's the same with any Ultimate Play the Game games. They were all written for the Spectrum. The game that I love is Attic Attack, which was obviously the first. Good, was that their first game? Was that the first game they brought out?
No, I think Jetpack was the first game.
Oh, of course it was Jetpack. Yeah, and that game now, that game is a Stonewall classic. It's
definitely, yeah.
It's so well. It could quite easily have been an arcade game. I mean, it's kind of based on Defender. Well, similar. Yeah, it's kind of based on Defender with the sort of controls. But yeah, I mean, I think Attic Attack, not Attic Attack, Saber Wolf, did that get good reviews at the time?
Saber Wolf. Again, I don't know. I should have done my research, shouldn't I? I don't know if it got good reviews or not.
Yeah.
It must have, surely. It's absolutely, it's a banger. It's amazing. How can it not get good reviews?
So would you rate that above Attic Attack then?
For me personally, yeah, because I'm not very good at Attic Attack. I do like the game. It's just I get lost. I just get running around in bloody circles, totally lost.
Yeah.
So yeah, I prefer Saber Wolf.
The only bit I remember about Saber Wolf was, what's that? Say that again, Steve. Sorry.
There's just something about Saber Wolf's graphics. It just appeals to me. I think it's beautiful.
It was all hand drawn, like lots of leaves and obviously kind of jungle based.
Yeah.
What is the thing you get? Is it the big Saber Wolf and it runs at you and you jab it in the bottom and then it runs away?
No, the Saber Wolf will kill you. As far as I know, you can't jab it. You can. There's other creatures that is like reside in certain corners. You can give them a chance to move them. Right. But Saber Wolf, as far as I know, it kills you. If it
right, maybe it's a hippopotamus or something. I don't know.
There is one of them. Yeah.
there is a big bear thing that runs,
Yeah,
and
there is. Yeah,
you
yeah,
jab
did
it and
that
it runs
talk.
off to the side. Yeah. I mean, I remember my mate. I said I was jealous of the attic. I was jealous of the Underworld games. Shut up! I'll start again. I was jealous of the Ultimate Play the Game games because they just looked so vibrant. I mean, Jetpack was a classic. I loved Attic Attack. I just loved the whole ambience with the. I don't know, even the cover with this monster kind of looking through the trapdoor, and it's just
Yeah.
it's beautiful. Saberwolf came along, and I did get a copy. I think I got a copy for the C64, and it just never really did it for me. But
No.
yeah, so again, is it a game that you could just enjoy? It might. I mean, does it provide a challenge, or is it just it's a bit like
Really,
watching?
yeah. It's just whenever I have a game on the Spectrum, I always have to have that in. Whether it's my first one or my last one, I've always got to play Saberwolf. So it's a must. Yeah, just
It's
love
like
it.
me with Super Pipeline. It's just a
Yeah,
game
yeah,
you enjoy so much that you just want to play it.
yeah.
Yeah. So no, nothing wrong with that, mate. Nothing wrong with that. Now is your opportunity to rid the world of 3 games.
Okay.
These games can be anything at all. There's been some really surprising games picked, but it doesn't necessarily have to be a bad game. It might be a game that maybe provokes a bad memory for you. It might be the game was too easy. It might be it was too hard. It might be it just annoyed you. It might be because it created a genre of game that you just can't stand. So you know the rules, Steve. So I'm going to let you pick in any order at all. What game number 1? What would you like to get
Right.
rid of?
Okay. Well, it was going to be Dragon's Lair, but luckily the legendary Andy Walker picked it, so I don't have to. So my first one is going to piss some people off. I don't apologise because I don't care. And this is a game that came out on a Commodore 64 by Hewson in 1986, and it's Uridium. That shocked you, hasn't it?
Well, you know my thoughts on Uridium. Yeah.
The thing is, it's just not only it's just too hard. Not only is it too hard, it was a massive disappointment to me. I love Paradroid. When Andrew Braybrook did this like Paradroid Diary in Zap 64 for like several months, I got totally into that. And I bought the game and fell in love with it. And then I bought his new game was coming out, and I'd bought it day one. Bam, Uridium, and it was like there's such a biggest disappointment. I thought this is absolute shit. Yeah, it looks nice. Don't get me wrong, it looks nice, but it's a nightmare to play. You're constantly hitting things and dying. I just didn't find it fun, and it's like it was too frustrating to be fun. And maybe you could say, well, just learn the bloody dreadnought, Steve. Don't be an idiot. I just, I was so pissed off with it. I couldn't be asked. So that's always a negative for me. Uridium, it's a game I can't bear. And what annoys me is when you're watching somebody stream Commodore 64, 9 times out of 10 they play bloody Uridium. Just
Well,
don't
I
like
take
it at
it.
all.
Have you listened to 20th Century Gamers? Nice and nasty.
Uh, some of it, but not all. Yeah, I know that was.
I
Yeah,
might. I'll not. I don't want to give you any spoilers, but you might upset somebody.
yeah, I know. I know he's awesome at it, but he's awesome at most bloody games. To be honest, he's
Yeah.
phenomenal.
I think, and I've got my own thoughts on Uridium. It, it's just, I mean, from a technical point of view, I think it's probably. I'd probably say it's probably the most, from a sort of technical demo point of view. I think it's probably the most incredible looking game. I mean, the scrolling is just utterly sublime.
It is
Um,
beautiful.
that
It looks
you
gorgeous.
know,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
at the start when you see the wee drop ship come onto the screen, and
yeah.
then your wee ship flies out, and then this little drop ship just goes whoosh, and it just flies off the screen, and
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't like it's not like it's like 8 frames per second. It's like 120 frames per second smooth.
Yeah.
I don't know how he managed to do it. It's utterly sublime looking, the sound, everything about it. But it's fucking way too difficult.
It
And
is. It is.
it's pure it's pure memory. It's a memory test.
Yeah.
The bits that bug me the most are the little bits that stick up the way.
Oh, well, yeah.
You just crash it. Oh, for fuck's sake! Um, if you could turn these off, then to me that would make a better game. Some people would say, well, that's a bit like making defend. That would be a bit like making Defender allow you to control it by joystick. You're completely missing the point. The fact that Andrew Braybrook released an easier version tells you its own story.
Yeah.
He brought out a Uridium, was it Uridium Plus, and it was easier. Rather, when you before you land, you've got to sort of, I don't know if it's a certain amount of enemies or a certain amount of time. You've got to wait. You've got to fly right to the far end of the dread.
Yeah, you do, yeah.
No, and you've got to bide your time, and in the meantime, you've got these fucking little irritating little heat-seeking missiles chase you. And then when you're trying to avoid them, you crash into one of the bloody structures. So he made it that when you get to the end, you automatically land, and that made it too easy. That made the game too easy. So I think he realised that the game was too difficult. But I'm totally with you. I mean, people will be saying, "Oh, how can you possibly say one of the best games ever? Iridium is one of the worst games." Well, in fact, I don't want to say it because it might be another one of your games. But I think we both know what game we're talking about. That was rated the best ever Amiga game, and I absolutely detest the game. But, it's too hard, and it's a memory. It's a memory game.
It is, yeah.
And I'm going to upset some people here. I've turned it into me having a good moan about it. But the actual sprites, the enemy sprites, I don't know. They just don't really do it for me. They're too big looking. I don't know. It's just,
yeah. It's a lovely game. It plays. It's just it's very smooth. That, but it's just I can't play it. I don't want to play it. I just after Paradride, it's just a letdown for me, and I don't like it at all. No.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No. Listen, I don't. You're not going to get any arguments from me in that one. Okay, that was game number 1 for the scrap heap. Iridium.
Right.
Game number 2.
Game number 2. This is a Commodore 64 game. Sounds like I'm picking on 64, but I'm not really. I love the 64. This game came out in 1990. It was made by Origin Systems, and it actually got a ZAP gold medal. But I think it's eradicated from history. Any idea what it is?
From 1990.
Yeah.
What was it? Origins. What was it? What was the company called?
Origin Systems.
1990. No, I mean, I was 2 years into my Amiga at that point. I have absolutely no idea.
Okay, this is Ultima 6, The False Prophet. A role-playing game.
Right.
Now,
right.
The Ultima games, I love. Absolutely fell in love with the Ultimate games. Hundreds of hours I spent on playing those. Ultima 3, Ultima 4, Ultima 5. Hundreds of hours. I absolutely adored them. So when Ultima 6 came out, I was in a shopping town. I bought it. Didn't even look at the box. It just said Ultima, I'm buying it. Got it home, and they've changed it, haven't they? Now, Ultima 3, 4, 5, well, probably 1 and 2 as well, are like 2D top-down, so it's flat.
Yeah.
But Ultima 6, they changed it to isometric, and I can't stand bloody isometric games. It's got my head in. Even Nightlaw, I can't stand them. I'm forever not knowing what position my play is in and things like that. It just drives me up the wall. So I bought this. I remember rightly, I think it was about 25 quid. And I basically never played it because I loaded it. I thought, this is shit, isometric. There was no option to play it in 2D. And I was gutted because it was my favourite series at the time. Ultima was my thing. And they're basically taken my thing and ruined it. So I've always been very bitter about that. So, I mean, all the following Ultimas, 7 and whatever, they were all the same, isometric. Not interested in any of them. But I didn't know this. If I'd looked at the back of the box, and maybe I'd have realised, but I just bought it and dashed home like a lunatic because I wanted to play it. But yeah, I can't do it isometric. And for me, Ultima 6, throw it in the bin. Not interested. Shit.
So did you know? You never actually attempted to play it. Was it just the fact that it was
I did
isometric
attempt
enough?
to play it. I did play it for a few hours maybe, but I couldn't get into it. I mean, 2D, I'm getting totally immersed and engrossed in like 2D games, role-playing games. But isometric, I don't know, something in my brain just can't accept it. Just don't like it.
Yeah.
I don't do isometric at all. No.
I'm not familiar with that particular game. I do remember, I think it was one of the first SAPs that came out in 1985. They gave, it was either a Sizzler or a gold medal to one of the Ultima games. And I went and bought it based on what Julian Rignall and Gary Penn were saying about it. And I played it a lot. It reminded me very much of Master of Magic. It had that kind of top-down sort of you're controlling a little character, a tiny. The character that you're controlling looked a wee bit like one of the wee guys at the Load Runner, really basic graphics.
Yeah.
But it was so deep, and I really got into it. I really invested a lot of time. I had the big manual and all that. So I love that. And I do get where you're coming from with the isometric. To me, I understand why they were bringing out these isometric games, because, we're used to playing all these basic kind of two-dimensional games, and then suddenly something like Night Lord appeared. It's like, oh my god, this is like the next generation. It's like making 3D games. Understand why they did it, but to me, they're just like an exercise in frustration. You play.
Very much.
I mean, other than that, in fact, I don't want to love it. I fucking detest Night Lord or Batman or any of these games. Just, they're almost impossible. As I'm saying, they're a complete exercise in frustration. There's no fun in it. You're trying to, you're dying because, not because you're stupid. You're dying because you can't physically fucking see when the edge of your sprite touches a bit of the fucking scenery. It's like, for fuck's sake. So I get that. It's like they didn't need to do that. Why break it? Why not just focus on the game, focus on the gameplay, all the content, etc., etc.
Mm-hmm.
Why break it and make it 3D?
I guess they thought it was a new thing,
Yeah, and it's a bit like, I suppose, the Gauntlets. Was it Gauntlet 3 became isometric, but they were obviously trying to appeal to a new generation of gamer. They weren't interested in playing games that had completely wank fucking graphics like you and I were quite happy to play. They wanted people. They want, oh, look at the graphics, that looks great, and that's why they did it. So whilst if you had possibly stuck with it, you might have enjoyed it. The fact that it was 3D, or it wasn't 3D, it was isometric.
Yeah.
That was enough just to kill it stone dead.
It did. It killed it stone dead for me. Yeah. Not interested. Horrible. There you go.
Fair enough. Can't say more than that. Could you not have taken it back and kept your receipt and take it back?
No, not from when I bought it. No. Now there was a computer shop nearby. I was friendly with a guy called Jim who used to run it. Now he let me take games back several times, but this one was bought from Bumtown. I think it was Lewis's or something like that. So the chances of them taking it back was no chance. No way.
Okay, that's game number 2 for the bin.
Right. Are we ready for this? Okay.
Final game.
Well, it's not Rainbow Islands, so it's all right.
That was the game I was talking about earlier on, yeah.
This is a Spectrum game, and it's 1984, and it's by a company called Legend. Right, you probably know it. They previously did a game that I thought was absolutely fantastic, and the game was Valhalla. That was a wonderful game. It was brilliant. Used something called MovieSoft, and you can actually sit and watch it. Basically, you could sit and watch it, and it would play out different characters doing things and attacking each other.
Yeah.
It was fantastic. And then the new game came out. So, like an idiot, I dashed out and bought it. And this one, here it comes. It's called The Great Space Race. I presume you've heard about this one.
I've heard of it. I can visualize the advert. It got advertised constantly in the media back in the day. Yeah.
It came in a big black box with a thick manual, and it was. I just you can't believe how bad this was. Really, I mean, it was written in mostly BASIC, and what the premise was, it's also like a space role-playing game. You'd found this new drink called NATO, and you had to ship it around the galaxy to different space stations or whatever, and everybody wanted to be paid in NATO as well. So NATO, by the way, they called it NATO because it stood for name to follow, but they never actually replaced it with a name. That's how lazy they were. They never actually replaced it with a proper name, and it was absolute garbage. I mean, it was, remember, it was 15 quid when most games about them were like 6-7 quid. And it was like written in BASIC, and it was so slow, and you got almost no interaction. Occasionally, something would pop up, and it would say yes or no, and you got like a second to press Y or N, and then it would play out something. And it was absolute rubbish. Believe Crash Readers voted it the tackiest game of the year, which they were bloody right. And if I remember right, yeah, Sinclair User described it as one of the most vacuous products we've ever seen. And the best line in their review said, the space battles in it look like two misshapen fried eggs sliding around the pan. It was that bad. It was absolute trash. It was one of the worst games I've ever bought in my entire life.
Was it one of these games that did it come, but did it have some kind of prize for whoever completed it or something?
No, there was no prize. No.
There seemed to be a kind of
stupidity for buying it.
There seemed to be a kind of flurry of these games back in the day. Like you had, was it not? No, it was Elite. No, what was it called again? What was that? Oh, Eureka. Yeah, there was a few games where you could, solve puzzles and all that. And because they were giving away money, or like there was one of them, some golden amulet or some fucking thing, and because they were giving away money, they obviously thought they didn't actually have to bother making the game any good, because people would buy it so they could win £25,000. But I do remember, the Great Spaces. Was that not based on a book or a novel or something? Was it?
Not that I know of. No.
Is it not? I don't know why. I don't know why.
It's been movie soft too. This new movie writing thing was. That's just can't believe it. You should look it up sometime on the Spectrum Computing. It's absolute atrocious. It really is.
I think, did it come out for like the C64 as well?
No, just the Spectrum.
Just the
you were
Spectrum.
Lucky.
Legend. So they did Valhalla, and then I mean, I was going to say sometimes you can, a company can like try and push the boundaries and come up with some new kind of game mechanic, and sometimes it works and other times it doesn't work. But this wasn't wank because it was like ill thought out. It was just like sheer lazy.
It was.
So it was just really badly programmed. It was written in BASIC.
Yeah.
When did it come out? 1984, did you say?
84, 1984.
Yeah, so I mean, there was good games coming out at that point as well.
15 quid back then.
Yeah, and that's the thing. That was a serious amount of money, and it's there was a lot of like sloppy companies that were putting out stuff. Some of these companies, I mean, put some of the games that we could name. I'll not name it because there's a few spoilers for other like nice and nasties, but some of the games that were just absolutely fucking god awful. I mean, like we've already mentioned Rainbow Islands. You and I and a few other friends fucking hate that game. There's, what was the game? Uridium. Uridium is not a bad game. It'd be ridiculous to say it's not a bad game. It's just not a game that you and I enjoy.
Yeah.
But something like that game you're talking about, just complete dog shit. And the fact that they were then charging people 15 quid. I mean, 15 quid was a lot of money back in 1984. It really, really was. So when you bought it, how long did you play it for?
Probably about 40 minutes. I think it was less than an hour. And I was absolutely disgusted. Absolutely disgusted, and just incredibly disappointed because Valhalla was such a great game. I was expecting the same, but maybe space-based, which is right in my street, And it was just, it's probably the worst game I've ever bought. Yeah.
Just crushingly disappointing about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it had. So I mean, did it have like the manual and all that kind of stuff? A big thick manual?
Yeah, it was a nice big thick book. Yeah, it came in a beautiful black box, really nice. But the box was the best thing about it.
That's the thing. I think I get the feeling that some of these companies they would have a budget, obviously, and they probably spent the majority of the money on the manual, and then they actually forgot about putting a fucking game into it.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, the best example is World Cup it was US Gold brought it out, and all they'd done is they brought out a World Cup football game. I think it was 1985. I think it was 86, whatever it was, and it was Mexico. I think it was, and you got like I don't know if you got a baseball cap, you got a fucking T-shirt, you got this, you got a poster, you got all this, and then they were just about to release it, and I think, shit, has anybody programmed the game? I told you to do it. No, I thought you were doing it. Oh, for fuck's sake. We've been advertising it. Right. Get on the phone to Arctic. They wrote a game 5 years ago, which was pish. We'll probably get it for not very much money. Right. What we need to do is, once we get it over, lads, I need you to change the billboards. Put Mexico 86. They'll never know.
Yeah.
So yeah, they forgot to put the game in. It sounds to me like this was one of these ones as well. They think that if we give the viewers a nice big thick manual and all that, people will never know that there's not a game. Then you get somebody like Acorn Soft putting out Elite that had everything, but it also had a fantastic game in as well. So absolutely shame to them for releasing that. I do remember. I remember it was getting pimped constantly by like Crash Magazine and all that back in the day. So yeah, there you go, Steve. So you could eradicate these 3 games from history, and I always think it was unfair if you went to the shops and you bought a pair of shoes and then you got home and the heel fell off them, you would take it back, you'd get your money back.
Yeah.
They say, why do you want your money back? Because it's fucking shit. Like, okay, it's not fit for purpose. Yeah, when it comes to computer games, if you bought a game that was pish, you couldn't take it back. Yeah. It was like tough because you couldn't actually argue with the assistant and say, look at it, it's fucking shite.
Yeah.
So when you bought a game that was terrible, that was it. I hope you never bought any other. Did they bring out any other games after that, Legend?
I think that was the last game they did, if I remember rightly. Yeah. The company didn't last long after that.
No surprise. Anyway, Steve, listen.
Hold on a minute. Can I just spit something in before we go?
Of course you can.
I would just like to say, regarding the arcades, my happiest years of my life were probably the early 80s. In Blackpool, I used to have the arcade exhibition. February every year, and it was like for 3 days, and they showed all the arcade games that were used to come out that year before they were in the actual arcades, and it was trade only. But what I did, my mum run a shop at that time. It's like a grocer's shop selling fags and cigarettes if you're American and things like that. And I applied for a ticket through her shop, and I got a pass. And from that year, I used to go there every year, 3 days every year, to the arcade exhibition, playing the games on free play before they were in the arcades. And I have to say, they were probably the happiest years of my life because I was in absolute heaven.
So when was that? What kind of years are you talking about? Like
it's
early 80s?
Yeah, early 80s. Yeah. But it was phenomenal.
So you had like Mr. Atari and Mr. Sega and all that. And then there was Steve for the corner shop.
Yeah.
Did you have to put down some kind of criteria as to why you should be allowed in, or is it the fact?
No, it didn't. Just because they checked she had a shop and they didn't even check what she sold. Good job. She didn't sell arcade machines. That's the bloody show. So wearing this tag with a name on it.
So what? Without giving too much away, what age were you? You've been sort of teenager.
Early 20s.
Yeah. So you probably got away with it. Yeah, it wasn't like if you turned up and you're like 14 years old.
No.
So what, can you remember any games that you thought, oh, fucking hell, I can't wait for that to come out?
All sorts. Wizard of War. The first time I heard Wizard of War, the speech blew my mind.
Yeah.
You know, loads and loads of games. Hard driving was good. Astro Blaster, that blew my mind. I played that for hours and hours.
Yeah.
Loads, yeah, but loads. Particularly the early 80s ones. Really
What
good.
about what about stuff like Outrun? That wasn't really that, no.
Now, Outrun is a game I don't like. I know everybody loves it and it's fantastic, blah blah blah. I just don't like it. It's not up my street. I won't say it's a bad game. It's just not up my street. I don't find it fun to play. Simple as
Yeah,
that.
I'm just thinking more from the point of view of like, I mean, Outrun and Space Harrier, like we'd never witnessed a game like that before. Like,
Yeah.
okay, but you know, we're playing games like, I don't know, I was going to say like Rolling Thunder, whatever. We're playing like 2-dimensional, sideways scrolling games, whatever, and suddenly you're immersed in this 3D world. So no, that's what about Gauntlet? Didn't he get a sneak preview?
Yeah,
of that?
Gauntlet. Yeah, I played that. Yeah.
Oh wow!
There was all sorts. Like it was held at the different what's it called now? Bloody hell! Big place in town here. I forget what it's called. It's a big place. I can't remember what it's called. I'll know it as soon as we finish this.
Oh, one of the
Winter
arcades.
Gardens. It was held at the Winter Gardens. Yeah.
Oh right,
It was full of arcade machines. Yeah.
And was this all the arcade owners would go along there and they would decide, well, give me 2 gauntlets, give me an Astro Blaster,
That
give me
sort of
this
thing.
and
Yeah.
that.
I was just there to play the games.
A trade show. That is. So how did you manage to get in then? How did you know about it and how did you know how to get into it?
Well, a friend of mine knew about it. I didn't know about it. He knew about it, and he took us one year. I think it was 79, maybe 8. I think it was 80. I think it was 80. And this guy was a masterpiece of waffle, and he sort of got us in without a pass. And I played on like 4 or 5 games, and then we were both thrown out because we didn't have a pass. But that's how I found out about it. And then I just, I'm trying to get more information about it. How would you actually get in? And I found out it was trade only, but you need to own a shop or something. So I thought, oh, well, my mum owns a shop. Maybe we can sneak it in that way. And yeah, it was absolutely fantastic. It really was. I used to go there for those 3 days. I used to go at 9 o'clock in the morning until 5 at night. I was there all day for those 3 days. And you got free food like donuts and popcorn. Fantastic.
Yeah, the hell. That sounds like, I mean, for an early, arcades were just kind of growing at that point. That sounds like absolutely heaven and earth, isn't it?
It really was, yeah.
Bloody hell, man. Awesome. What a great story. Thank you for sharing that, Steve.
Thank you very much.
So anyway, folks, listen, we have quite literally ran out of time. So I just want to say a massive thank you to yourself, Steve. Don't be a stranger. I know it's taken you a while for us to get together and do this. I'm quite sure that the listeners are going to enjoy listening to this. I will put a link to Steve's channel and his Twitch thing as well, and where you can download Boney and Boney 2.
Thank you.
Finally, folks,
thank you for doing your channel. Your channel's fantastic. And I wouldn't have all the friends I've got around here now if it wasn't for your channel. So thank you very, very much.
Well, the feeling is mutual. You're much loved in my community, mate, and you know that. So, finally, folks, I just want to thank you very much for listening. Until the next time, see you later.